Here's a psychology fact you're not ready for. Most people don't fail because they lack ability. They fail because their brain refuses to consider possibilities it cannot currently see evidence for. Psychologists call this reality-constrained thinking. And once you understand it, you'll see why two people with the same skills can end up with completely different financial outcomes, just because one allows their mind to think beyond current evidence and the other doesn't. Your income, your opportunities, even your career direction, are heavily shaped by what your brain decides is realistic enough to pursue. But here's where it gets even worse. The brain doesn't just reflect reality, it filters it. And that filter quietly decides what opportunities you even notice in the first place. Here's the uncomfortable part. People don't just miss opportunities because they aren't lucky. They miss them because their brain labels new possibilities as not realistic and instantly removes them from consideration. Psychology research on expectation bias shows that what you believe is possible directly affects what you perceive as worth acting on. So when someone says, "Be realistic," what your brain often hears is, "Do not explore anything outside what you already know works." And that creates a silent ceiling on your behavior. Not your talent, your behavior. But here's the part nobody wants to admit. Some of the biggest opportunities in life don't look realistic at the beginning. They only look realistic after they've already worked. This happens because of something called availability bias. Your brain prefers ideas that already have proof. If you've seen something happen before, it feels safe. If you haven't seen it happen before, your brain treats it as risky or even invalid. So when someone tries to build wealth, start a business, or pursue unconventional income paths, their brain keeps asking, "Has this worked for someone like me before?" If the answer is unclear, the idea gets quietly rejected, even if it actually has high potential. If that hit you good, it means you've probably been filtering your own ideas more than you realize. And that filter doesn't just reduce risk, it reduces possibility. Here's the key insight. Being realistic is useful for execution, but dangerous when it becomes the only lens for thinking. Because realism is based on past data, and wealth opportunities often exist in future patterns, not past ones. So what happens? People with extremely realistic thinking only pursue familiar income paths, dismiss emerging opportunities early, underestimate slow compounding ideas, and overvalue immediate proof. Meanwhile, people who seem delusional at first are often just willing to act on incomplete information, not blindly, but before certainty appears. And this is where it gets uncomfortable, because it means your current level of realism might actually reflect your past environment, not your future potential. But let's be clear. This is not about ignoring reality. It's about expanding your mental model of what reality can become. Psychology calls this cognitive flexibility, and it separates people who only react to current conditions from people who shape future ones. When it comes to money, this shows up in very specific ways. People overly anchored in realism tend to wait for perfect proof before starting, avoid opportunities without guarantees, underestimate compounding effects, and reject ideas that don't fit their current identity. But opportunities often reward early movers, uncertain explorers, and people willing to test before certainty exists. And here's the hardest truth. Something already feels completely realistic. You're probably already late to it. So how do you actually fix this? It's not about being unrealistic. It's about adding a second mental question. Instead of only asking, "Is this realistic right now?" you also ask, "If this worked, what would have to be true?" That small shift does something powerful. It separates emotional rejection from logical evaluation. Because most people don't fail at opportunity recognition. They fail at allowing ideas to survive long enough to be tested. And once you start testing ideas instead of dismissing them too early, you stop relying on certainty to move forward. So maybe the real question isn't, "Am I being realistic enough?" Maybe it's, "What possibilities am I removing before they even have a chance to exist?" Because in psychology, your future isn't only shaped by what you believe is possible. It's shaped by what you allow yourself to consider in the first place.